EGM Network.
Hi, welcome to Silver Linings. I am one of your hosts. I'm Janine Barrows, and I am with my friend and partner, Raul Perez.
Hello.
And today we have in the studio co-chairs that are working on our 2025 National Philanthropy Day for our AFP group. And I'm going to let them explain that a little bit. But with us are Stephanie Nelson and Allison Clockley, and they are going to talk to us about what's happening and what's coming up and how they honor the individuals who invest so heavily into our community. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Indeed. So most people don't know what AFP is or the Day of Philanthropy unless they're one of the ones that have been honored with it, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into it, we're always curious about the people that come into our studio, how they ended up in the role, why they're here speaking about something that is passionate to them, and then kind of rolling into what that mission statement is for that organization and their purpose in our community. So spotlight's on you, Stephanie.
Yay. Okay. Thank you so much. So I'll say that how I got involved in the association when I joined the Gifford Youth Achievement Center, working in marketing and fundraising. Mm-hmm. And I had the opportunity to join as a member to gain knowledge, professional development, attend some conferences. And so I applied early on for a scholarship to attend a statewide conference for fundraising professionals. And that is offered through the Association of Fundraising Professionals.
Which is what AFP stands for, right?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that until today.
Yeah. So that's how I got started. And I received the scholarship to attend the statewide conference, and it was awesome. There's a lot of learning, networking that takes place. And then also a lot of inspiration that you can take back to your county, to your organization, and share with your chapter members and your leaders in your organization. So part of that scholarship is serving on the National Philanthropy Day Committee. And so that is how, that was the hook for me.
Okay, a little carrot and a hook following. I like that though.
So a few years ago, I sat on the committee, helped with marketing the event, and then over the years was just inspired to take on a more of a leadership role. And so it's a 2-year commitment when you serve as co-chair.
Oh, that is a big commitment. 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll start as co-chair, and then you progress to chair of the event. And so this will be my 2nd year. And it's really exciting because it's our 20th year of celebrating National Philanthropy Day in Indian River County.
20 anniversaries. How exciting.
Yes.
Wow. What is 20 years? What do we do to celebrate 20 years?
Right. We talked about that. So the traditional gift and an anniversary celebrating 20 years is an emerald.
Oh, I like emerald.
Yes. So we are very much emphasizing the emerald throughout our event. Anyone who attends or looks up the information will see the inspiration behind the emerald is everywhere. So
I love that.
So quick question. During the event, does everybody have to wear emerald colors?
Yes.
Ooh,
I mean, I wish we
gowns.
could. Right.
Ooh.
And I wish we could give them out. But
no, I have a similar, quite a similar story to Stephanie. Have served on the AFP National Philanthropy Day Committee for probably the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Had some babies in between, so I've been at home and then back in the saddle here for as co-chair, formerly co-chair, but the value that AFP has given not only to myself, but to others, to other colleagues, to other chapter members who benefit from the education portion of AFP. It's been great. And this National Philanthropy Day was started in 2000, I want to say 17 and then 18. It's been each year, it's been so inspiring to not only honor different individuals in our community, but to continue with the event. And so now as co-chair, it's been so fun to really dive deep into organizing our committee members, making sure that we're not just, just thanking them, but really thanking them, really diving deep into why this is such a special event. And for it to be our 20th year and celebrating that, it's been fun to put together.
I bet. I know we live in a beautiful community with a lot of philanthropic work that goes on here. And we're very, very lucky. But often my experience has been those that are really pushing the services, that are really supporting the structure of some of these organizations, these 501(c)s that are making huge impacts in the civilian world and the life here for our community members, are often nameless and faceless, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so your day of philanthropy is going to kind of put a shining light on them, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. I'm sure that most of them are extremely humble and are not actually looking for that highlight. But sometimes it's really nice to recognize those individuals that are truly the turnkey point for these programs. So I think this is really neat. I didn't know until Raul brought it to my attention that AFP existed. And initially my first response was, professional fundraisers. Well, what does that mean? But then when he explained the connectivity and how you all help coordinate and honor those that are managing these programs, and that this is more about the 501(c)s in our community, that it kind of started turning this light on. But I don't think a lot of people know about the National Day to honor these individuals, and I don't think they understand where AFP comes into play. So I'm really grateful for your time this morning so that we can kind of educate our listeners and educate myself. I know he knows everything. He's such a smarty pants, but I'm still learning. And so tell us a little bit more about why you have this day of honor, before we talk about who gets honored, how they get picked. I know we're going to dive into that aspect in it. But when you said it was just a few years back, maybe in the last 10 years, that you've begun honoring these individuals, doing the Day of Philanthropy. Tell us the difference between the first one and what we're going to see coming up.
It is, yeah. So the local chapter of AFP has been in existence for, it'll be going on 20 years next year. So Allison is going to have the honor of hosting and coordinating that event to celebrate AFP as a chapter, their 20th anniversary.
River, yeah.
But this event this year will be the 20th time that National Philanthropy Day has taken place for our chapter. And so some history on the association. There are several chapters throughout the state, and our local chapter actually used to be a blend of the Treasure Coast chapter.
Okay.
So, and then in 2006, there were some founding members that thought that there would be a significant benefit to having our own Indian River chapter. And so the AFP Indian River chapter has been in existence since 2006.
And that's usually how it happens. You see some growth, you see more people invested into a program or a service, and it becomes logical to kind of break off and build and grow additionally. So that's very normal. That's a really great indicator that you're on the right track.
And yes, exactly. So we had 16 members originally, and now we have over 80.
Wow, that's a big group.
Yes.
That's a big group. Okay.
Which makes sense because if you think about the economics behind the nonprofit industry in the Indian River County has really exploded. And that's thanks to so many people that are so generous, right? And there are so many needs that as a community we can work together to fulfill. And so that's one of the great things about the AFP Indian River, aside from professional development. There's networking, and there's also sharing information, right? So have you experienced this? This is something that we're going through. There's a survey out right now that's about special events. And so that's very meaningful for all of our nonprofits that fundraise through their special events, right? So what challenges are you seeing? and then using that information then to further educate the fundraising professionals.
Ro was talking earlier, and we're going to delve into that when we come back, because he brought up, who gets honored and how does that look? And so we do need to take a small break. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to be back. We're going to be back in just a short minute.
Okay.
So we'll see you all in a minute.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Four Seasons, Braxton, Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of American-made Telescope, Berlin Gardens, Lloyd Flanders, and Pollywood, all with no tariff ever. And we also specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a huge floor sample sale with lots of great markdowns on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
At Evergreen Media, we know the people, the businesses, and the work needed to take your marketing to the next level. We know where locals go to shop, work, and have fun.
We're here to focus on your local advertising so you can focus on your business. This is our home. This is our business. Evergreen Media. We market, you grow.
We are always grateful for our commercial sponsors, but I would be remiss if I didn't specifically say thank you to our show sponsors. We wouldn't exist on the air if it wasn't for the support of Dill, Evans, and Rotoback and Sebastian. They are an amazing legal team. If you have any family needs, if you have any trust needs or real estate needs, please don't hesitate to reach out to them. They've been in our community for over 30 years, providing services for families just like yours and mine. I'd also like to say a big thank you out to Rooney and Rooney here in Vero. They do a lot of civil litigation and they work amongst families. And if you have any legal needs from them, I promise you these teams will treat you like family. On that note, we're back. It's painless. We're grateful for their investment. And we were just starting to talk with Stephanie and Allison about the actual National Philanthropy Day. And I know that Raul had some questions for the ladies, and he's going to kind of kick us off on that next section.
Well, again, thank you for coming in and speaking with us. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about, before jumping into the National Philanthropy Day, we have different organizations that come here and they talk to us. And for example, they normally will receive funds to reinvest it into the community. But your organization is more set up to help professionals to educate those so that they can help nonprofit organizations, right? Is that
That's correct.
how the organization works? And I think you've mentioned there's at least 80 different organizations that are now a part of this group.
80 different members representing a cross-section of nonprofit organizations.
Okay.
So your executive directors, marketing professionals, directors of philanthropy.
Anyone. Yeah. And anyone can honestly join. Anyone involved in specifically philanthropy is encouraged to join AFP and just receive this education and attend conferences. I mean, there's so many fun benefits. Even board members that might be directly employed with a nonprofit in our community, they can also benefit as well.
And that's great because, so for example, there are, I'm sure, people or organizations that want to get involved with the community and do nonprofit, but they might not know where to start. So organizations like AFP can go ahead and say, okay, like here's where we start. Here's some roadblocks you might see at the beginning to be able to help them establish their organization and continue into the future to better help the community. So it's great to have organizations like that that can, help from a different perspective than just, here's funds and putting them into the community. So it's great that you have that educational perspective on it. But getting back to National Philanthropy Day, so give us, well, first of all, when is it actually the event gonna happen?
Yes. So the event will take place on Tuesday, November 11th, and that's at the Vero Beach Museum of Art from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
What a beautiful location to have it.
Yes, we're very excited to be there. The event is taking place on Veterans Day, and I just think that's a nice little ode to, what greater act of selflessness is there, right, than what our veterans have done for our country.
Right.
And so I think it's going to be, aside from recognizing our 15 honorees, recognizing veterans as a whole for their sacrifices.
I love that.
And now, when it comes to how does the process work for people being nominated for this event?
So there's a call for nominations that takes place this year. It was in August. And so we invite AFP member organizations and non-member organizations this year to submit a nomination. So what we do is we outline the criteria. It was 3 categories this year. So outstanding philanthropist, outstanding volunteer, and outstanding community involvement and corporate citizenship. And so what we do is task those organizations to think about their circles of influence and who they really think stands out this year for the work that they've done within the organization, be it through their time, treasure, or talent.
And it's great because I think Jenny was touching on it, where most of these people are helping out the community and don't really, need the recognition. They don't really look for it. So it's great to have a day where, others can nominate certain individuals because they see the work that they have put in, and they can be recognized and, inspire others to want to do the same thing, to help get involved.
Yes. And it's a really unique twist on it, is that exactly what you said. These individuals are very humble. They're not looking for the recognition. So oftentimes what happens is the nominating organizations, we ask that they ask permission first before they nominate someone. And a lot of times those individuals aren't looking for the recognition, right? And so they say, I appreciate that, so much, but that's okay. Like, it's not necessary. And so it's great to shine a light on those individuals who are so deserving for what they do in the community, for these causes that they're so passionate about. And so through Precious Gems, celebrating 20 years of National Philanthropy Day, we are really trying to unearth those precious gems and shine a light on all of the awesome work that they're doing.
That's awesome. And let me ask you, so how do people attend this event?
So anyone can attend. The tickets are available for purchase online. They're $100. It'll be a great event. There will be a reception, and then following the reception will be an awards ceremony, which is always very inspirational. Allison can attest to last year. She came as a guest of an honoree. So that's very fun now.
It's
That's
fun
a great
to see
seat to watch from.
Exactly. And it's fun because there's so much, of course you're there, you're being recognized, but then for their faces to light up, knowing that their philanthropic peers are now watching them receive the thanks and praise that they deserve. But also too, I feel like in our busy lives, we kind of live in a funnel, and we kind of don't really understand or know what entails, or what each individual organization, what their projects are, or really what their hardships are, or what people are pouring into different organizations. For instance, I work for Vero Classical School. Stephanie's at the Gifford Youth Achievement Center. I might not know a hard project that she's working on, or some of her board members, and she might not, and vice versa. But really getting to recognize and acknowledge the great things that people might not know about at this event is kind of surprising. And it's really amazing. It's kind of like the shock and awe factor. Everyone looks around, oh my gosh, yes, I know that person, but I didn't know they were involved. I didn't know that. And it's a fun surprise.
And I'm sure it's very, I guess some of these people who attend these events will say, well, like you said, I didn't know about that. And they start thinking, well, that's actually a very good project. And they might want to get involved in said project, or they might want to donate to the cause, which obviously will help those different organizations be more successful and touch more lives. So it's great when we have these events to be able to showcase the people, recognize them, but also be able to see the work continue and hopefully grow.
Exactly.
You know, you just brought something up, and we were talking about the people, but sometimes it's not a person, is it?
Right. That's correct.
So how does that look, and why would somebody what kind of other organization or event might be considered, and why would that be considered to be somebody or something to be honored? Tell me what would be the parameters for that.
Sure. So, for example, the Community Involvement and Corporate Citizenship Award goes to businesses and or organizations in the community. So if you think of like Piper, right, who is out there supporting the community in different ways through volunteerism, sponsorship. So this year we have Wheels and Keels Foundation. So a lot of people are familiar with Wheels and Keels because they have some big fundraising events in the moorings, and then they turn around and they use those funds to support several nonprofit organizations. So that's an example. The Fellsmere Frog Leg Festival is another one. Sebastian Exchange Club in previous years was recognized. So it's just these businesses and organizations that, you know, they might be doing it quietly, right? It's just something that's very important to them. Their employees live and work here. And so it's important to them to lift up others in the community.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice when you see that, not just amongst the individuals, but amongst organizations that are investing back within it. You know, I was teasing Raul, like, oh, did we get our tickets yet? But it's not a joke. It's really important that people come, they recognize, they learn, they maybe be inspired to join and get further education so that they can create more in our communities and bless more people with caring and coverage in some manner, in some way. So this particular day is much more than just the honor. It's a whole lot about pulling back the curtains, turning the lights on, and letting people see inside, right?
Yeah. I love that.
And I have met so many wonderful people in our community that are philanthropic, and they do it extremely quietly by themselves, just on a lone road often. But the reality is every single person, whether they're a large entity, an organization that has national exposure, that have been here for 60 years, or the individual that's quietly down in the woods and making an impact in some way, you know, they're all very, very important, including those individuals who do have that opportunity to gift the community financially to support those structures. So a day like this is much more than just an honoree moment. It does so much more than that. It's a growth moment. It's an exposure. It's an education, and it is the acknowledgement of it. So what is your goal with having guests this year? How many guests are you hoping to have at your Day of Philanthropy?
We have about, I think ticket sales, we have 250 will be our max total we can house in that room. So we're excited to have that there at our Vero Beach Museum of Art. But gosh, we are filling up pretty quickly, which is
that's wonderful news, right?
And one of the ways that we are filling up so quickly is through our sponsorship, right?
Yes.
So we have some incredible sponsorships, and the crown jewel of our event is Carter, Advancing Philanthropy Worldwide. So this event is made possible through their generosity.
Oh, that is so
and
wonderful.
many others.
I know you couldn't do it alone, but what I want to do is, if you are interested, if you are motivated, if you want to learn and you want to become better and you want to invest your time and love into our community and know how to do it properly, I encourage you, reach out to Allison, reach out to Stephanie, get on their website, get involved, maybe get a ticket for the National Day of Philanthropy before they're sold out, and make a positive impact. Ladies, Thank you so much. Thank you, Raul, for
Thank you for having us.
encouraging them to come to us and educating us
No,
today.
it was great to
because
have
this
you both.
was an arena I had no idea about. So we are grateful
you.
for your time. We'll see you again another
Our
time.
pleasure. Yes,
you.
thank you.
Great.